Key to great performance is a successful rehearsing. Duh. Yeah, I guess it is. But what we don't know is I said what we don't do very well sometimes is the process by how to get there. And the process is preparation, implementation, and evaluation. Unfortunately, what happens most times with people is they do that once. They do their preparation once, and they think they're totally prepared. They do the same implementation every time, and they do one evaluation. And what it is a cycle that repeats after every rehearsal. So, for instance, preparation, selection of music. Do you realize that we are the only academic area that selects their instructional materials for their students? Textbooks are adopted. Now, in the college ranks, it's a little bit different, but in public schools, textbooks are adopted. They decide what the biology text will be. They decide what the math text will be. They'll decide what the science text will be. They'll decide what the literature they read will be. Sometimes public schools pick a beginning text for beginning band or beginning instrumental instruction. But most of the time, it's our responsibility to pick the training material. Yikes. Because I would believe that 50% of I'll call them coworkers. 50% of my coworkers in the band area pick junk food. If you think about the repertoire you pick or the instructional material you pick as nutrition, then you really don't want to pick the McDonald's French fry version of a piece of music. So you have to think about music that is going to teach them something. In other words, you need to eat your vegetables before you have your dessert. A lot of people play a dessert concert because they think that their job is to entertain the parents, when that's not their job at all. Their job is to educate the parents, but their job is to instruct the students about music. I just had a former student who's teaching somewhere get told by his principal that you need to play more songs that the audience knows. Like the audience is supposed to know the whole first suite, so we can't play that because they don't know it? Principal's totally out of whack, right? So, what music do you pick? You pick music you believe in. But you have to have an educational reason for playing a piece of music. Now that could be as little as this piece introduces the key of G. This piece takes my clarinets above the break. But it also could be this piece will tell them something about history. It's about a historical part of the country or the world. This piece teaches them about canon. This piece teaches them about harmony. But just let's play this piece because it's fun. I have a problem with that. I've never heard an English teacher say, let's read this book because it's fun. They don't. Let's do this math thing because it's fun. No, they were instructing you in these ways of math or the great literature and things like that. How many had to read Shakespeare in high school? Yeah? Well, right. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not sure I'd go, I think I'm going to read Julius Caesar today. I don't think I would have done that. But it was important for me to know Shakespeare. And because I was made to read Shakespeare and Julius Caesar in particular in high school, I have at least an appreciation for Shakespeare. Same kind of thing. They wouldn't say, okay, you can read Shakespeare or you can read comic books. They would not do that. But we have that in band music. We have comic book band music. And comic book band music or fast food band music is music that sounds good but has no redeeming qualities to it. Like French fries. Now, I could live on McDonald's French fries. I think McDonald's French fries are one of the most heavenly foods ever invented. But if you lived on McDonald's French fries, you will die. So the point being is McDonald's French fries taste good, but there's not a whole lot of nutritional value in McDonald's French fries. There's some band music that when you play it, it makes your band sound good instantly, but there's no musical value in the music except for making your band sound good. Now, I'm not saying you can't play one of those pieces. I'm saying you can't give them a steady diet of those pieces. So what do you look for in music? Well, you look for works that give you technical concepts, that give you historical concepts, compositional concepts. Works must exhibit musical or compositional concepts that one can teach. What is your purpose for programming the work? Is it a musical reason? Now, when I say it's a musical reason, so let's say there's something occasional that shows, and occasional means that it's like a 4th of July something. So you're going to play some music that's patriotic. Well, that's a little bit different because the situation calls for a certain type of music. But I'm talking basically what you're going to play in the ensemble. Is it teaching them anything about music? If it isn't, then you're kind of babysitting the people with their instruments. So your first preparation is selecting quality music. And there's quality music from grade 1 to grade 6. But you have to do your homework because nobody's going to pick it for you. And you can't do it by, well, this band played it and they got a 1 at festival with that. I've seen that so many times. We'll play this piece because the other high school got a 1 at festival last year with it, so we're going to play it this year and show them. Music is not a competitive sport. Real music isn't. I know there's a lot of competition involved in music. I mean, obviously, there's competition for getting a job, there's competition for getting a placement in an orchestra, and then we have all these other things like marching band competition and stuff. But truly, intrinsic musical value doesn't come from an external source. In other words, to get something out of music, you don't need somebody to tell you that was good or to tell you you beat everybody else. So in other words, does that mean we had a better musical experience than you guys because they told us we were better than you? You see how weird that is? But what we've done is we've created this system by which our parents and our principals can understand music because they wouldn't know an aesthetic experience if it bit them in the butt. So what we have to do is we have to share that experience with the parents. We have to educate the parents with our music, not play to the parents so they'll understand it. And that's what we started to do. And see, principals, I don't know what, you might know, Linda, what the percentages. It's something like coaches are about 40 or 50% of the principals in high schools, that their background is coaching. So they know win or losing. Now, don't get me wrong, I love sports. Like I said, I just played baseball for a week. But the coaches understand winning or losing. So if you can show that your band won, then they think you're doing well. That doesn't have anything to do with music. It's you're developing, see, music develops the soul and the heart. And there's nothing else in the curriculum that does that, except maybe a poetry class or something like that would. Anyway, my point being is that there's a big responsibility for the school band director to pick quality music because you're picking the instructional material.